Hi, it's me again. Today is April the 2nd, Easter Monday. I thought I would do another book haul review today. I thought, I saw these two online, and I thought that they looked quite interesting. Now, these two are the first two books of a trilogy. The third one has not yet been published as yet, but apparently will be published either later this year or sometime next year, I think. Don't quote me on it. But as far as I'm aware, the third book of this trilogy will be published sometime later this year in 2018. So, but these first two ones of the trilogy looked quite interesting. So I thought, oh yes. Now these are a bit of a departure from the usual ones that I've been getting recently. Recently I've been into the more of the fantasy type genre, but these ones are more historical fiction. These ones are by an author called Hilary Mantel. You may be aware of where I'm going now that I mentioned the author's name. The first one in the trilogy is called Wolf Hall. And as you can see by the cover, winner of the Man Booker Prize, Hilary Mantel's Wolf Hall, and its sequel, Bring Up the Bodies. Now, so far I've only read the first couple of chapters of Wolf Hall. I've only read the first, say, 2 chapters. But I am blown away. I am blown away by the style of writing that she uses. Most authors, pretty much all authors, use past tense, whereas Hilary uses present tense in her writing, where most authors will say he said this or she said that or whatever, whereas she'll write he says, she says, that sort of thing. He does, or whatever. And it's apparent it's supposed to be set. I'll read the thing off the back of Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall, one of their very best writers, brings the opulent, brutal world of the Tudors to bloody and glittering life. It is the backdrop to the rise of Thomas Cromwell, low boy, charmer, bully, master of deadly intrigue, and finally, most powerful of Henry VIII's courtiers. So this is Thomas Cromwell, not the famous Oliver Cromwell from, I think, about 100 years later, that usurped the throne and became the protector of the whatever. But this is Thomas Cromwell, who was one of the, like it says, Henry VIII's courtiers, who was an infamous figure in the court of Henry VIII. And it seems to be quite a very interesting, because I just finished reading a section in the second chapter where he's having a conversation with Cardinal Wolsey. And the characterizations, good, honestly. And the vivid imagery is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Hilary Mantel is her writing just seems to be like nothing I've ever read before. It's vastly superior to to well, not superior. I wouldn't say superior, but vastly. I know how to explain it. It's like I absolutely love the fact that she goes against the norm and uses a style of writing that is rarely, if ever, used in standard novels. That is the standard, and it still works. It works. It works because it is a historical fiction, because the very nature of it, it's historical. Yet she uses a style that makes it seem very real and very present and very like she's trying to put the reader in the make it look like now, in the now of it, and it's like as though it were happening, sort of right there in front of the person right now, and it's like try to make the reader included in the action of the story, as though they were witnessing it themselves. And it's like, oh, this is intriguing. This is intriguing. I got to read more of this book. I love it, and I'm excited to read the sequel, and I can't wait for the third one to be published so I can get it and read it too. Because this is very intriguing. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that's my latest my two latest additions to my collection: Wolf Hall and its sequel, Bring Up the Bodies, by Hilary Mantel. Now, just on a side note, I recently had to replace my mobile phone, because the charge connection to the battery decided to kazunk. So I decided to do a departure from my previous model, and I got this new one. Oh, look at that Inception. Inception. Anyway, so this is not a paid endorsement. This is my own experience with the. This is an Optus branded one, and I'm finding it quite because it's slightly bigger than my other one, and it's slightly newer looking, and as you can see, and I am really enjoying the uses out of this one, because it is so much. Oh, the features are great. I like it. The features are easy to use. So anyway, and the price is very affordable. So I got that from Officeworks, I think. Officeworks? No, I think from Target. Sorry, I got that from Target at a very affordable price. I won't say how much because that's just rude. But anyway, but I got that from Target. So yes. Now, in another update, my darling boyfriend will be coming up on the 18th from Melbourne and staying for a few weeks with me. And then hopefully we'll be going up on a trip up north. And then another couple of trips. So I can't wait to see him. Because he's beautiful. And I'm going grey. See, look at me. I'm only 35, and look at me. Look, all these grey hairs are due to Centrelink. All those grey hairs are due to Centrelink. You can thank the government and Malcolm Turnbull for my grey hairs. So, anyway, that's my update for now. I'm sorry I haven't posted in quite a long time, but there we have it. And to quote one of my favourite fellow YouTubers at the moment, I gotta have a shout out here. A shout out to D Omar, who is she is one of my I love her her reaction videos. She does these wonderful reaction videos to music clips, and I have to mention her because she's absolutely wonderful. If you want to look her up on YouTube, her YouTube handle is Do Legacy, and she is a wonderful YouTuber, and I absolutely love her. She does these wonderful music reactions, Pentatonics and Superfruit and all this. I love her reactions, and so good shout out to D. Hi D. To quote her, I'm going to borrow. Hope you don't mind, D. I'm going to borrow one of her her famous sign off. Live with passion. Bye.